All right, what's up everybody? July 3rd, almost the 4th of July, one of my favorite holidays. I love fireworks. What I also love is street art. That is not street art, but that is a piece of art that eventually I think became street art by Buff Monster, who's one of the top global street artists. And he happened to go to the best school in the world, which is none other than the USC. You guys know about that. And by the way, Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre, the founders of the USC School of Disruption, if you're not aware of Buff Monster and or if you're not yet working with him, you should. Separate post, another time, we'll get back to that. But in any case, the reason why I bring up street art is because street art makes the user experience on the streets of awesome cities like New York, LA, Berlin, London, Miami, all of, frankly, my favorite cities out there, better, more interesting, a better experience, right? So in the interest of making kind of an awkward transition, next week, the 10th to the 12th, we're going to be in Boston, and we're going to be at CXFS, which is a conference dedicated to customer experience in the financial services industry. And I'm going to be hosting, emceeing a fireside chat kind of workshop session with three of our monsters in this space. And one of them, actually, Brian Hamilton and I were talking this morning, and I'm going to paraphrase, of course, and it's a little bit of a preview of what's going to happen next week. But I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of how he answered some of the questions that I'm going to be asking him and them. And I thought it was very interesting, right? So the question was, what exactly is, CX and kind of why does it matter? And so, again, I'm paraphrasing. Brian, don't blame me if I don't do a very good job here of using your exact words. You'll do a much better job in person next week for sure. But he basically said that CX is effectively the sum of all of the experiences that a customer has with your business or a business, including digital, physical, hybrid channels, etc. And done well, it's a competitive advantage. Not easy to do, but extremely interesting and exciting if you do it well. And so what he also said was that it relies on horizontal coordination across historically siloed divisions, department, teams, people, etc. And those of you in the financial services space, you know about that, right? Because that's one of the biggest challenges / opportunities is all that data that sits in so many different siloed environments and places and people and process, etc. But what I thought was really cool, and again, I'm stealing from him, is that he actually talked about the idea of doing CX right and really driving CX transformation. It's almost as if you create an interconnected nervous system for a company, right? So you can then figure out what's working and what's not and so on and so forth. So it's almost like a brain, right? A digital brain for your business. And so you can think of it as if you do this really well, you create what effectively amounts to a EKG. Swap out the heart for the brain, and the digital signals that are now available to all companies then start to deliver signals on a very real-time basis, which enables a company to adopt the philosophy of test, learn, iterate at scale, get a whole lot better, a whole lot faster than their competition. But the one thing he also mentioned is if you think about this just in terms of like, I'm going to make my emails, more effective, or I'm going to improve my online, offline customer service quotient with call centers and things. He's like, that's cool, but that's just marketing, right? If you really want to drive CX transformation, it's all about being willing to not only improve and optimize and connect the dots with all your existing channels and touch points, etc., but you have to have the commitment to operational transformation, create new businesses, new services, new products, which takes a lot of heart and a lot of stomach, right? Because that's a lot of change. But that's the true essence of CX and CX transformation. I know I'm running a little bit long. You can obviously tell I get excited about this topic like every other that I post about, because why would I post about something that I don't get excited about? But in any case, Brian and the crew are going to be in Boston at CXFS. I'm going to drop the link to the conference in this. Hopefully you're going to be there. I recognize a couple of names, a couple of companies that will be there. We've got some guests there, so it's going to be an awesome time. I have one favor to ask. If you could please either like and or comment on this post, I would love to hear what types of questions that you have that you think would be really meaningful for our fireside chat / workshop session. The reason for that is because this is such an abstract concept at times, and there's lots of different people with different levels of interest and understanding. But the one thing that we have definitely picked up on, which is why we're going to be there, is this is moving very quickly to the top of the agenda for all sorts of business people, marketing people, IT people, tech people, because they're all realizing, as Brian says, done right, done well, this is one of the last areas where you can create a very real customer and competitive advantage. So on that note, enjoy your 4th of July. I'm going to stop looking at my computer. I'm going to turn this thing off. This was really long. I hope you don't mind. But I hope to see you in Boston. And again, see you out there. Take care.